All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Vertical. Hi, how's it going? How's it going, everyone? How's it going? All right, before we get into anything, right? I want to get into this video. So, thank you. Thank you so much for that. So, I really appreciate it. So this is Ask Across. If you don't know much about the Destiny community and content creators, kind of bad. So Ask Across, he made a video. This is actually called. What's it called again? I don't know if the vertical stream can see that. No, I can. It says the most disliked video game trailer in history. So thank you so much, everyone. I really do appreciate it. For the subs, the follows. You all are amazing. So, the most disliked video game trailer in history. So, if you don't know what this is about High Guard. And I guess he's reacting to Legendary Drops video. I'm probably going to cut this up for the YouTube video because I already kind of reacted to Legendary Drops videos. But I want to hear what Cross has to say because I respect him. I like him. Okay. I like Legendary Drops too. There's not many people I hate on the internet, YouTube, Twitch, whatever. There's not that many. But I respect Cross and I just want to see what he has to say about what's going on, when this game was announced and all the hate it's getting, which if you don't know my opinion, I'm not gonna try to change your mind or anything. You don't have to think what I think, but no one's played this game at all. And people are comparing it to Concord, which many people didn't even play that game. But it's like, I don't like to judge a book, you know, off of its cover. To say, I just want to give every game a chance. Okay, that's the kind of person I am. And you know, Legendary dropped in his video, said, the people who basically aren't criticizing, the people who just aren't condemning the game, the people who are just, you know, just aren't trying to be kind of like biased, I guess, and just judge it off of what we saw. Which I mean, I think the trailer kind of showed quite a bit. Horseback riding, uh, seizing, like you have to like go through this barricade. You have to, you have like, uh, what, well, what would I say? Like, uh, little. I'm so used to like going off of MMO terms, like ads. So you have like ads and you have like players. So it's like more than like your typical hero shooter like your Marvel Rivals, like your Overwatch and stuff like that. And I just got that from looking at the trailer. So I can't see how people are just like just comparing it to like Concord, because Concord had a lot of issues, you know, no like ultimate abilities in the game. The part that really got me was in rank play, you can't play the same character like in a round. Like you play one character in one round, next round you can't play the character. That sounds crazy to me. I was like, what the hell is that? Um, I did not like the character designs in Concord, and I feel like in Highguard the character designs are a lot better. I mean, at least a little bit, at least. So I just want to give the game a chance. No one's played this, and like for example, like Asmongold, I like him, but he just talks about it like he's played it. Oh, the game's shit. How do you know the game's shit? You haven't played it. That's my issue with like the conversation stuff. Like people haven't played it. Does it look similar to Concord? That's debatable. For me, not really. Like the character designs and the aesthetic of it, I would say the aesthetic of it kind of similar to Concord, but the character designs, they look better than that. Then, like I said, looking at the trailer and stuff, they're trying something new with the gameplay, with the ads, and it's like PvE VP. It's more like it looks more like a MOBA, a first person MOBA, and I don't think we really had one like a game like that. So right there, that it's already unique. And I'm just rambling on too much right now, but I just want to give you like my perspective of the game before we get into the video and everything. If you didn't watch my last video and going through Legendary Drops video and stuff, but I'm gonna put that part like right there, cause for the vertical stream, cause Cross is the main person.
I've watched videos from Legendary Drops for years now. This one being titled, "This Game is So Cooked." Some of you might be able to guess what game this is, but let's take a listen.
The Game Awards have come and gone. Expedition 33 received its flowers. We watched as indie games dominated not only in nominations, but also awards, and we were showered in incredible trailers, from the return of Tomb Raider to Larian Studios' next game, Divinity. Man, was that one worth it. Then at the end of the show, Jeff Keighley comes out and really lays it on thick. And he shows us Highguard, a PvP hero shooter. What were they thinking? Especially following the Divinity trailer. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And he had all the fanfare, all the anticipation. Man, did that guy want to make sure he sold that game.
I think the two main problems, right? The two main reasons is it got a lot of hate. Okay, first the placement. I think it would have got a little less hate if earlier in the Game Awards, but they chose to show this last and not show like the Divinity trailer last, or in my opinion, the Star Wars trailer. I love Star Wars. Like, so I think that's one problem. Then the other one is how he announced it, right? How Jeff this came on stage, right? And he said the creators of what? Apex, right? Not that, that's not that big of an issue, but the next one, Titanfall. And we all know, like, we all been hungering for a new Titanfall game. We want Titanfall 3. We were disappointed when we got Apex. Okay? let's not lie. Let's look back in the past when they announced Apex. People really didn't want that game. No, we wanted a Titanfall 3. That's what we were expecting. And I think the same thing is happening here. You know, this game is getting more backlash because of, you know, we just keep getting piled on. Like first it was Apex, okay? People played Apex and it became a big thing. It's part of the big three, you know, Fortnite, Warzone, and Apex. If you're talking about battle royales, you know, you may say PUBG. I would say PUBG is like the grandfather of battle royales. But my point is, like, so we had that. Okay, we got over that because, yeah, we played it and it was a good game at the end of the day. Now this happens and we get baited again, you know, saying, oh, this is the creators of Titanfall, Apex. We're expecting, oh, maybe a Titanfall game. Nope. Hero, a hero shooter. I forgot what they really called it. Yeah, a lot of people was gonna be disappointed. So I think like those are the two main things: the placement of it and how Jeff announced it. And people are not willing to give this game a chance. Like I said before, I'm willing to give any game a chance. Shit, I played Roblox the other night, yesterday. I always talk shit on that game. I gave it a chance. I always say, if you come by the stream, ask me to play a game, I'll try to play it. It wasn't too bad.
The last spot of the night, normally where we would typically see a really big heavy hitter, a major reveal, and they just pretended like it was something that we were begging for, all the while showing us something that we've seen a million times by now. The same music, the same slow motion hero animations showing their powers.
Again, if they would have just swapped the places of Divinity and High Guard, I think it might have been all right. Like, I don't know. I mean, sure, there may have been people still, like, disappointed,
Yeah.
or maybe the dislike ratio for that video, the trailer would have been still just as high, but making it the last showman, you know what I mean? Granted, Jeff has played the game. He even said he's played the game, so something must have resonated for him.
All of that good stuff. It was just like Concord's trailer in more ways than you actually think, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. And I've seen a lot of feedback surrounding this game. People are not very happy. Most people are just kind of sick and tired of a lot of this stuff. I've seen the developers having a really hard time with it on social media. A lot of people also rushing to defend them, trying to create a pillow fort to defend them from all the toxic gamers. You know, it's just the streamers and the YouTubers that are the problem. These aren't real opinions. It's just manufactured hate more.
I'm not trying to defend anyone because you know why? I haven't played the game. No one's played this game. Well, you know, besides like Jeff and probably like the studio, like the people in the studio, and they probably had a handful of people come in to test the game or whatever. But the majority, the audience, like us, we have not played this game. So I'm not going to defend it at all, or I'm not going to try to like burn it at the stake because I haven't played it. I don't know if this game is fun or not. We'll learn at the end of this month. And if it is shit, guess what? I'm gonna say it's shit. Like I'm like, oh yeah, this it's not very good. It's not that fun at all, you know. But I'm not. I'm just saying like, no one's played this game and they're already hating and they're calling it Concord 2. It's like okay, how do you? Where do you get that from? Well, the gameplay, you know, looks kind of similar. Okay. Well, did you actually watch the trailer? Because I've never seen horseback riding and Concord, these characters look a lot better than Concord's characters. It's looked like you have like some siege mode. I'm pretty sure that wasn't in Concord. It looks like you have ads, like PvE enemies in the game. I'm pretty sure that wasn't in Concord. So I'm like trying to figure out, like, by watching the trailer, like, where do you get Concord? Does it look similar to Concord? A little bit. Like the art style. Well, not even the art style looks that similar to Concord. I mean, this looks like kind of cartoonish style. Like, I don't know.
Than anything else. Not listening to the players. That's worked out a lot for these guys in the past, hasn't it? All they are is just protecting a game that is clearly destined for failure. You have to learn from these lessons. So today, I'm talking about why that is.
And that's my problem. Yo, what's up? And that's my problem. He's talking like it's set in stone, like it's destined for failure. How do you know that? The game's not even out yet. No one's played it. That's the point I'm just trying to, like, I keep coming back to. Like, no one's played it. Like, there's a lot of games people didn't like before we got them. Marvel Rivals. Everybody, they're like, oh, cool, Marvel characters, right? But another hero shooter, people actually played it and was like, oh, this is actually fun. And Marvel Rival was a big thing for the longest time. You can say the same thing with Arc Raiders. Let's bring up Arc Raiders. People was like, I don't like extraction shooters. I'm not that interested in this game. They gave it a try. And guess what happened? People actually really like Arc Raiders. It turned people who weren't fans of extraction shooters into an extraction shooter fan because they played the game. That's why I'm like, oh, what?
I'm talking about the fate of this game. I'm talking about all the bad decisions that these guys made up to the release of this game, why this game is such a bad idea, why people hate it, why people are defending it, and why I don't think this is the last time we're going to see it.
Look, and I want everybody to know, you don't see a gaming trailer with a 92% dislike ratio very often. Matter of fact, I don't even know if Concord is that low. Now, I'm an optimist. I actually cannot and refuse to believe it's on the same level as Concord. Like, I refuse to believe that. The fact that you can get two of those games in the same decade. Who writes this stuff? You know what I mean? Like, who is scripting life here? It just cannot be on that level.
Awards lives and dies.
Now, I can't agree with that. Like, it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. He refuses to believe that it can be on the same level of Concord. It could be. I'm not going to refuse to believe anything because it could be, at the end of the day. But he's being off by, I guess you leaving? Bye. But I see where he's coming from. I'm, kind of optimistic. I'm like, I just want to play a new game at the end of the day, That's all I really want to do, if it's shit or not. If no one plays this, if there's 10 people on launch day, I'm going to be one of those 10 just to give it a try. If we can get in the game.
By trailers. Every single year it's the same cycle. Rumors, wish casting, people convincing themselves that this is finally the night for Bloodborne 2 or Half-Life 3. And because of that, the final trailer carries extra weight. It's supposed to be the big one. Jeff Keighley really leaned into that hard. He reminded everybody that the last slot is saved for something special. Teased that this game was was being made in secret and then dropped the pedigree. Former Respawn developers, the people behind Titanfall and Apex Legends, breaking away from AAA. Expectations spiked, the room went dark, the trailer rolled, and what followed was the most aggressively generic reveal we saw the entire night. Highguard is a PvPvE hero-based shooter where you are playing as wardens fighting over territory and raiding enemy strongholds. On paper, honestly, fine, but the problem...
So listen to that again.
Entire night. Highguard is a PvPvE hero-based shooter where you are playing as wardens.
A PvEVP hero-based shooter. Okay, yeah, you can say the hero part is unoriginal, but what? Lots of games are unoriginal. If you're just gonna say that, look at Arc Raiders. I love Arc Raiders, but what is that? If you just break it down to its basic parts, it's a third-person shooter. Yeah, we have quite a bit of those. Probably not in that genre, but we have a lot of third-person shooters. Shoot, one of the most popular games is a third-person shooter, Fortnite. You know, but like I said before, a lot of people weren't fans of Arc Raiders till they actually got to play the beta and everything, and it turned them into Extraction fans at the end of the day because they actually got to play the game.
Fighting over territory and raiding enemy strongholds. On paper, honestly, fine, but the problem is that none of that actually comes through in the trailer. What does come through is how completely interchangeable all of this feels. The same abilities, the same pacing, the same presentation that we have seen...
Hold on.
A dozen times by now. It's pulling straight from the Valorant playbook right down to the silhouettes and the cooldown-driven combat. The character...
Okay, he said Valorant playbook, right? And he said, like, what hero shooter, and he wants to bring up Valorant. I mean, like, can you ride a horse shooting a PvE enemy, then go try to raid a base or something? Like, there's not that many games out, probably not many at all, especially in first person. Like I said, this is more like a MOBA in first person. We don't have a game like that. I would say the only game we probably have like that, and a lot of y'all probably haven't played this if you're not on Steam or you haven't been invited, is the Deadlock. And guess what? That's not first person, it's third person, and there's no vehicles or mounts in that game.
The same pacing, the same presentation that we have seen a dozen times by now.
A dozen times.
From the Valorant playbook right down to the silhouettes and the cooldown-driven combat. The character that they led with honestly looks like John video game. Zero identity, zero personality, a lot like the whole game. The entire time that I was watching this trailer, I had...
Now, I will say,
Valorant playbook right down to the silhouettes and the cooldown-driven combat. The character that they led with honestly looks like John video game.
Now, I will say with his... because I've seen a content creator say something about his haircut. And, okay, we're going to judge a game off character's haircut. I don't think he looks that bad, but he's probably like the most basic character in the game, I bet you. You know, he's like the Soldier 76. He's like the Punisher of this game, I guarantee you. And this, he said something about his haircut. It's like, this isn't the only game that has that haircut. Okay. Arc Raider has that haircut. So what are you going to say? Oh, because Arc Raider has that haircut, Arc Raider is shit? The character design in Arc Raiders is shit? Off of a haircut? Okay.
Zero identity, zero personality, a lot like the whole game. The entire time that I was watching this trailer, I had this nagging feeling that I had seen this before. Not just like, oh, it's another live service shooter. No, I mean, like, I've literally seen this before. And it didn't click for me until the ice troll slammed into the ground, and then my brain immediately clicked and said, oh no, this is Concord. That is definitely Concord. So I went back and I compared the trailers, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. The hero ability introductions are damn near identical. The pacing and the percussion heavy music is.
Doesn't Destiny have a character? Doesn't the Titan slam down? So what is Destiny Concord? Is that a Concord too? Like characters can't slam on the ground? Like can I have an ability to slam on the ground? Like what kind of sense does that make? Like if you were to like compare every little thing to other games, I mean, fuck it, I guess no game can have fucking abilities and stuff like that. Characters that slam on the ground.
Just about the same. The rhythm of the cuts, the way the abilities are framed, the timing of, oh, look how cool this character is moments. It all lines up perfectly. If you start splicing the two trailers together, you genuinely start to lose track of which game you're watching unless
I can tell which game I'm watching. This is Highguard.
You're paying close attention. I don't know if they
This is Concord.
Outsource some of the same assets, but you cannot watch the Concord.
That's Concord. I mean, that's Highguard. Sorry, that's Highguard. I knew that's Highguard.
This thing. I mean, these guys are already falling into the exact same trap that buried Concord. This is a hero shooter with completely unremarkable characters. They're not offensively bad this time. They're not hideous, but they're just safe, polished, inoffensive, and instantly forgettable. Not a single character jumps out at you or makes you say, you know what, I am curious to play them. The abilities are all things that we've seen before. The powers blur together, and yet this trailer has the nerve to say that it is a new breed of shooter.
Oh, shit. That's like that. I would say the girl with the tentacles or whatever, the red suit. She looks interesting. I want to play her. I don't know, the character with the sniper with the horns and stuff looks pretty cool. You know, you just can't judge it off of one character. Yeah, that. I don't know, the main character, the guy with the hair and stuff. You know, he doesn't look the coolest out of the roster, but everyone else looks pretty interesting. The bear looking guy, he looks cool. I want to try him. Like, a lot of these characters look way more interesting than the Concord characters.
When it looks exactly like 10 other games from the past year.
How is it a new breed? What did they say? I mean, look. It seems like it has destructible environments, but what it's a PvPvE shooter, okay? Is it like a MOBA? You're on horses too. You know what it kind of reminds me of? A game we played here recently. What is it called? Spellcaster Chronicles. It's a MOBA, and surprisingly good. Like, it was actually good. It's literally horses. That's the only difference. I got to look at raw gameplay of this. Guys, it was actually good. It's literally horse.
So this comment right here, right? Like, what is this comment? It's literally just horses. That is the only difference. How can you say that? Then different than what? Another hero shooter, Overwatch. You can ride horses in Overwatch. You could ride horses in Concord. You can ride horses or any vehicle in Marvel Rivals or in any of those games. That's what I thought. So those games with the core game mode, they have PvE enemies in the mix. No, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, Concord did. Okay, no. It's like a siege. Like, you have to like siege into the other enemy's base. You did that in Concord, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals. No. So this is say horses are the only difference, that's kind of being unfair.
That's the only difference. I gotta look at raw gameplay of this, guys. Again, I'm not saying it's not Concord 2.0, but as someone who put, I don't know why we put so many hours in Concord, but we actually put a decent amount of hours in Concord. Concord's biggest thing that really drug it down was how do you introduce a hero shooter with no ultimates? Like, honestly,
Yeah.
like the most defining abilities for your characters. Concord had no ultimates.
And clearly,
I mean, Concord doesn't look that bad, but like no abilities. Then when I heard like, if you ever want to get into the competitive scene, like it's like you can only play one character one round. So like you pick your favorite character that first round, and you're done. Then like, what if you save that character so you're shit for the rest of the round, for the rest of the rounds from at the beginning, then at the end you can play your character, but at that point you're probably like already lost the game or something like that. That seems stupid to me. But like I said, the gameplay doesn't look bad for Concord. For me, it was those two factors and the character design. The character design in Concord were kind of trash. They were trash. They were fucking terrible. But at the end of the day, I never got the chance to play Concord. But hold up a second. I was willing to play it. And shit, if it would have lasted longer than 2 weeks and waited till I got fucking paid and got the money to actually purchase the game, I would have played it. Because like I said before, I'm just not going to judge a game, from the cover without actually playing it. I might find it fun, like Roblox. I never really wanted to judge Roblox because how it looks and stuff. I mean, I would say like it's for kids and stuff. I would say that, but if somebody wanted me to play it or someone wanted to play it with me, I was down. That's what happened yesterday. Someone asked me to play it, and I played it, and I actually kind of had fun.
Abilities for your characters. Concord had no ultimates.
and clearly, players are feeling the same way. The reaction online was immediate. People started calling it Concord 2 almost instantly. Others were furious that the game somehow got the final slot of the show. Dead on Arrival has become...
That's understandable. That's understandable. The final slot at the Game Awards, that's understandable.
Label for the game. IGN's upload is sitting at over 300,000 views right now with over 40,000 dislikes and barely 4,000 likes. The trailer is getting absolutely cooked on social media. Ratioed and reposts, side-by-side comparisons everywhere. Characters are getting dragged for looking like knockoff versions of existing heroes, like the sniper, who is basically just a blonde version of Ana from Overwatch. And then you've got Tomb Raider developers that are getting universal praise right now for revealing that they've been working on the game, while Highguard developers are announcing that they can finally talk about theirs, and they are being met with nothing.
Now, when this game comes out, my stance, I'm going to say right now, it's in the middle. I'm curious. That's about it. I'm going to give the game a try. I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm not going to say it's good or bad at the moment. I'm just here to say, give it a try. But when this game comes out, I do not want to hear people. So the majority of people right now are hating on this game. I do not want to see the majority, go back and say, yeah, the game's actually fun. No, forget that. Remember before the game even came out, it's shit. it looks like Concord. It's Concord 2. So when I start seeing the majority of people, say it's actually fun or whatever, I'm gonna call it out because that's bullshit. You're hating it before you even got a chance to play it, and like, if it is shit, remember I'm in the middle. I don't care at all. I'm just gonna give it a try. It's free to play. At the end of the day, push that download button. Wait till it downloads. Hop into the game. If it's good, it's good. If it's shit, it's shit. Going to delete it off my system, off my PC, and probably never touch it again. But right now, I don't know what's going to happen. The game's neither good or bad in my eyes.
But backlash to the point that some of them are just straight up going private. So yeah, not a great response, and definitely not the one you're hoping for after spending some serious money on putting your trailer on the biggest stage in the entire industry. The Game Awards now reportedly pulls in more viewers than the Super Bowl.
And I heard about that.
On the show is not cheap.
That is crazy. I heard about that. I heard it from Moist Critical. That is crazy. More than the Super Bowl. All right, anyways.
Anywhere from $450,000 to over $1 million, depending on its length. That's before we factor in how much it costs for them to buy out the final slot of the night, the spot that's reserved for the biggest, most anticipated reveals. That is an insane gamble, and in this case, it is completely blown up in their face.
You got to ask yourself, as a developer, how do you think they feel being told that your next game or your game that you're working on, maybe you've spent years on, is Concord 2.0. Don't care, shouldn't have made it. I don't know. If I was a dev, my on is Concord 2.0. Don't care.
Like, it probably sucks because it's like, you're looking at this thing you made, you worked so hard on, and everybody's just shitting on it when they haven't played it. I would be like at the studio, like looking like, how do they know this game is shit? They haven't even played it or got their hands on it at all. What, like, I would be like, what do we change with the feedback we're getting right now? That's my thing. It's the feedback. Like, what? Oh, the game looks like Concord 2. The game is Concord 2. What feedback? Like, what do they do with that kind of feedback? They're saying the game looks like this. The game is unoriginal. Like, what do you do? Okay, the game's unoriginal. How can you, like, what are we supposed to do with that? That's what I would be thinking if I was the developer. Like you haven't played it, so how do you know it's unoriginal?
Shouldn't have made it. I don't know. If I was a dev, might be time to lock in. You know what I'm coming from? Might be time to figure out what you can do from now until launch, which is very soon, by the way. I think this thing launches in January. Very, very soon. Better do something. Better figure out something.
Now, I've heard some people say that the trailer placement is the problem, and sure, I guess kind of. I mean, if this thing had shown up earlier in the night, there wouldn't have been nearly as much anticipation that was riding behind it, and also it probably wouldn't have been directly contrasted to some of the genuinely exciting reveals that we had seen. I mean, how do you follow up that Divinity trailer? But let's be honest here, regardless
the Divinity, the Star Wars trailer, the
would have been just as forgettable.
Tomb Raider trailers
here is not some mystery puzzle that the internet needs to solve. The biggest issue that we have is the expectations that this studio set for themselves. This is supposed to be an independent studio, a breakaway team, former EA employees, more importantly, former Titanfall developers branching off to go and do their own thing. And what do they come back with? The safest, most corporate thing imaginable. The kind of live service hero shooter that we have come to expect from moronic and repetitive AAA publishers following the tail of everyone else, not from a studio that escaped that system. And that's the part that makes no sense to me. And this is likely what pissed people off the most. You escaped. You are free. You're supposed to be the ones that are making games for us, not for the machine. Why wouldn't you make something actually different? Something that players clearly want. You fly the flag of Titanfall for the reputation it gives you, but not for the meaning behind it. The audience behind that game.
People didn't want Arc Raiders. Well, not at first, and not in the way we got it. Because if you know anything about Arc Raiders, it was supposed to be a looter shooter, and it didn't get that much buzz. I mean, it the style of it looked cool. Then we saw like the players like jump around and jumping onto the robots and everything. It's cool. Then they pivoted into a extraction shooter. And remember, before we got the alpha and the beta and stuff, we actually got to play it. People did not like that at all. Like people were like, "What is this? We don't want this." Then guess what? Like I always say, people actually played the game and they're like, "Oh, yeah, this is pretty good." This is pretty good. I am a consumer. I am like your average person working 9 to 5 and all that stuff, but I would say like a lot of times we don't know what we want until we get it and until we actually play it. That's the hard truth, but people probably want to ignore the examples and stuff. Arc Raiders, Marvel Rivals, Apex Legends and stuff. All those games. We really didn't want those games at first. Apex, oh, they're just trying to, what's the word? Like bite off of the Fortnite hype and everything and all that. Come to find out, actually played pretty well and stuff. Marvel Rivals, we don't need another hero shooter. They're just trying to rip off Overwatch. Actually did pretty good. Arc Raiders, I'm not really into extraction shooters. That doesn't seem fun. Played it, pretty good. Did pretty well.
Did not disappear. It's been ignored. You know what? Who am I kidding? Of course, the only person that clearly sees that need is some random solo developer that's making a Diesel Punk mech shooter off of Kickstarter money and a YouTube channel. Seriously, go check out Diesel Knights. That guy actually gets us. I went back and actually watched his trailer after watching the Highguard reveal, and it is night and day. It's so distinct, it's so messy and unrefined and raw, and it just feels human. And watching that back just made it even.
Okay, I want to say that they probably don't even. This is a different studio. They have the developers from Respawn and stuff, but it's a different studio. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, they're independent, so I guarantee you they don't have the right for Titanfall. So they don't even have the option to even make a Titanfall 3, even if they wanted to. I guess they could made a game that's very similar to Titanfall, but off being a new studio than being a new game, because it wouldn't have the Titanfall name attached to it. I bet a lot of people probably wouldn't give it a chance. Then, if it did get a chance and a pretty decent player base, I bet EA will probably see that and be like, let's make a Titanfall 3 now. And that would probably just, trump it. Like, this probably be better. Probably. I don't know. Probably be better than the game they would make. So it's like, I want to give them a chance. So this is their first game. I just want to give them a chance. And if it's, like I said before, if it's shit, I'm going to say.
More obvious how few people in this industry genuinely understand the art anymore, or even the audience that they're supposed to be making games for. Highguard takes absolutely no creative risks, none at all. The only thing that they're doing is just gambling with their own financial security at this point.
They're not taking any risks.
As humanly possible. It's just another PvPvE live service game wearing the skin of past achievements, trading almost entirely on, hey, remember what we used to work on? And it's like I said before when we first saw Concord. When a game introduces itself as from from the former developers of, especially from studios like Bungie, Activision, or EA, that's basically become a red flag for me. Not always, there are some outliers. Embark Studios is an obvious one, but more often than not, there is a reason that they are former developers. And in this case, they couldn't even spot the warning signs in their own game, let alone stay in step with what players are actually into right now, or even learn from the pile of failed live service launches that we've already seen just this year.
Oh, my man is cooking right now. My man's going for blood right now. Oh my Lord. Now, there's nothing being held back right now.
Yeah, he's cooking all right, but I mean, he's kind of dropping stuff and burning some stuff too.
Stop, he's already dead. He's making some valid points, though.
Honestly, the only real risks that this studio took were all the wrong ones. They spent 4 years developing this game in total secret. No early footage, no tests, no public feedback, nothing. If they had shown anything earlier, and I mean anything, they could have gauged player reaction and course corrected. Instead, they went all in on blind confidence, dropped a reveal trailer, and then just announced a...
I will say that. I will give that to them, right? They should have at least showed us this game, like, not a month before it came out. At least, like, half a year or something, or even a year. I hate saying that because I hate when they show us a game and it's like a year out, 2 years out, or we don't even know when it's coming out. I do hate that. But if you're going to make a live service, PvP, you know, PvE, whatever you want to call this, like, show us and put out some beta tests, because like the time frame they had, there's no change they could make that quick, right? And yeah, it's like nothing they could really do.
Full release barely a month out, putting themselves in a completely unnecessary do or die situation. And I'm telling you right now, if you are making a live service game, you have to involve the audience as early as possible. You cannot afford to spend years and millions of dollars building something just to find out at the very end that nobody wants it. I mean, Arc Raiders did multiple closed alphas. They ran a beta well before the game even came out. Hell, even Marathon is out here involving players and has made visible changes based on their feedback. When I see studios that are skipping that step entirely, especially in live service, it tells me exactly who this game is being made for, and it's not the players. I realize that the developers for
Okay, he's kind of wrong about that with the Embark, because, I mean, we didn't get to play it. The only version of Arc Raiders we got to play was the Distraction Shooter, so we don't know if the PV, like, not the PV, but the looter shooter would have worked, because we never got that. And we know this because of the 3-part, you know, evolution they put on their channel, Embark. If you go to Embark Studios YouTube channel, they have like a 3-part series. That looter shooter form of it never got that far. You know, we, the audience, we never got a beta or alpha for that. Now, the developers and their family and stuff, and maybe some a small handful of content creators, maybe, but they never said that. In the evolution of Arc Raiders, it was, what I got from it is like more of inside. Like I said, the developers, their families and stuff, they got to play it. So, like, you know, then remember, we saw the trailer, then we knew it was going to be a looter shooter, then they changed. And like I said before, people did not want that. They were like, a distraction shooter? I don't want a distraction shooter. What? You lose all your stuff when you die. I don't want that. People played it. They like it.
Guard are likely combing social media right now, looking for feedback. That's a little bit too late, seeing as though your game's going to be coming out a month from now. Looking at social media posts, obviously, because they're probably a little bit too difficult to ignore at this point. And I hope you're listening right now. This is the feedback. This is the frustration of a real customer. Somebody that was a fan of Titanfall. I want you to know that the expectations set upon you are higher than AAA games. We don't expect shit from them anymore. We do expect more from you, somebody that escaped that. We expect that you're going to be trying to make something that we're going to actually want. We're expecting more from your freedom to create, not from you just to go and make more of the same. If you're trying to figure out why people are so upset, why they're so quick to just toss your game to the side, that's exactly why. We know that AAA game studios are not looking out for our best interests. We know that they're not trying to make games for us, they're just trying to make games for profit. We have the expectation that those that are operating outside of that system are looking out for our best interests, that are trying to make games that we actually want to play, that are trying to do everything they possibly can. And we need that light. We need that because it's our last thread of trust that a lot of people have in this industry right now. And if you betray that, that is a very real betrayal, especially in the eyes of a lot of players right now. And if we start seeing a lot of studios that break off from AAA just to go out and essentially continue to just feed the same system, well, you're now betraying the trust that other studios deserve. How did you think that these Temu designs would somehow draw in players? I'm blown away by that. How do you not learn from any of the live service failures that we've seen, not only just this year, but just over the past 5 years? And how do you guys go into secrecy, developing a game for 4 years, and then just drop it into the market and hope it succeeds? You know, this reminds me of Splitgate. Yeah, it reminds me of Splitgate. They had a really cool concept. They had their, arena shooter. People really enjoyed it. And then these guys sold out and wanted to be just like AAA, killed their original game, and then went and made a live service battle royale. We know
that's kind of disingenuous right there, because that is not what killed that game. I was a fan of Splitgate 1. A lot of people were. That's not the big issue people had. There's multiple things. The hero base kind of like classes you have. You can only have it's a hero. Your heroes had certain guns that they can use, and they had abilities. And the playlist, yeah, that wasn't very fun. So before we even got the Battle Royale, me and a lot of fans of Splitgate weren't really jiving with it. The flow of the game, the hero characters, and all of that. So I don't know if he played Splitgate or a lot of Splitgate, if he was a big fan of it. But just to say it was the Battle Royale mode, no, it was more than that. And I'm going to say it, I was one of the people who weren't a big fan of the Battle Royale mode. I didn't like the pace of it and everything. But just to say that killed the game, no, it wasn't. It was the bones, the core of the game that people didn't like. That's why they took it down and they relaunched it. And I've been playing a lot of Splitgate 2 or Splitgate Arena Reloaded. It's fun now. It's a lot better.
We know what you're doing. We know what you want. We can smell you a mile away. We don't want to have anything to do with it. I've seen a lot of people already rushing to come and defend this developer and all the different developers that are working for them.
No, I'm not defending
trying
nothing.
To say that it's all fake outrage. It's just streamers and YouTubers that are feeding people their opinions, based, by the way, as long as you're getting those opinions from the right people. That it's all just hate for the sake of hate.
No, some people are probably taking their opinions from other content creators and streamers and YouTubers and stuff like that, or just following the crowd. I'm always going to say, don't follow me. You can disagree with me. That's fine. I'm not here to sway your opinion. All I want to say is give it a try, especially if it's free. Now, if the game's not free, well, support me. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on Twitch. Follow on TikTok too. And I will spend $40, $50, $60, $80, $100 on these games so you won't have to. So you won't have to waste your time. You can watch a 10, 15-minute video on YouTube, or you can just see a video on, TikTok or YouTube Shorts or something, and I'll tell you if it's shit. You know, if you're curious about a game, I'll let you know. You know, you don't have to waste your money if it's a paid product, but for a free to play game, give it a try at least. It doesn't cost you anything besides, your time. And that really depends on how long you want to spend on the game. Like you can download the game, hop into it, and 2 minutes, you're like, not a big fan of it. That's 2 minutes plus the time to download the game. Let's say 15 minutes, 30 minutes at the most of your time. No money at all. That's all it takes. That's what I'm going to do. It's not going to take anything from me. It's not going to take money out of my pockets just to download the game and give it a try at the end of the day.
And what that ignores is that this outrage, or maybe not the outrage itself, but the frustration is not manufactured. It's not artificial. It is very real, and you have to be listening to it. If this industry continues to dismiss it, if people continue to protect these developers, we're going to keep seeing this happen over and over again.
Well, I think betting with your wallet is how you fix that. And Concord, I think, is a massive wake-up call for all developers and studios. I'm just trying to think of the thought process on Highguard. The fact that they're saying, like, it's the only of its kind type of shooter. You know what I mean? And I'm just, have we seen raw gameplay? Like, what is it that it's trying to do? I'm just, for once, trying to see the glass half full here, guys. What is it trying to do that is somehow different from other hero shooters? And by the way, when Concord rolled out and it flopped, I just thought that hero shooters were just completely dead. I actually thought Marvel Rivals was probably going to just bomb, but it didn't. Marvel Rivals was fantastic. But I tell you right now, guys, I was not optimistic at all about Marvel Rivals. Granted, that's Marvel, but still, the game's done incredibly well. I think that one of the contributing factors to this is that Marvel was free. Concord was $40. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Highguard is also free. Rivals is fun, yeah. But the first time.
And there you go. Like I always say, people weren't that excited for Marvel Rivals at first. Okay, yes, they had Marvel characters, cool, but they're like, oh my gosh, another hero shooter. Then they played it.
Time I saw Marvel Rivals, I was like, I'm not gonna play that shit. And then we did play it, and it banged. It actually banged. We were even that tournament as well, which was a really good tournament. I was really surprised with Marvel Rivals. I don't know if Highguard could ever reach that level at all, but I can tell you, I never.
My point exactly, and I don't know either if Highguard can reach that point or even close to that point. I don't know. I haven't played the game. I can't tell you if the game is shit or not.
I thought Marvel Rivals was going to reach the level that it reached. Or Highguard is free. Okay, so Highguard is coming in free. Well, he's ain't charging $40 for this shit. You know what I mean? Rivals swung it to Gooner base, so they saved themselves. I guess some things, yes. Yeah. But like, I also just think they just made attractive looking character models. I haven't seen any of the new stuff. I don't know. I don't know if the new stuff is or not. Bro, look at these skins. They for sure on that Gooner grind. Well, I can tell you right now, it doesn't hurt. All right? You know, I'm not saying that that's a focus. I'm not going to go out of my way, but it doesn't hurt.
It's actually kind of wild right now looking around and seeing that most of games media is more or less in agreement on this, not defending the game, not running interference, just documenting what's happening. And honestly, that is refreshing. It feels like a rare moment where this industry is starting to remember who it actually serves, the players, not...
Hold on. Oh, so you can ride looks like a bear, have a horse. What is that, like a panther or something? So they're gonna have like mount skins. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a free to play the game. They're gonna monetize it somehow. I mean, the thing is, yes, they can put all this monetization in it, but it's gonna get them nowhere if nobody thinks the game is fun and they want to play it at the end of the day. So it's like, at the end of the day, like, we can't vote with our wallet with this game at the moment. All we can do is vote with our time, and I guess that's gonna cause us to vote with our wallet at at that point too, because no one's giving this game time. They're not buying skins or anything, and that's voting with our wallets.
Not running interference, just documenting what's happening. And honestly, that is refreshing. It feels like a rare moment where this industry is starting to remember who it actually serves, the players, not itself. But on social media, it is a completely different story. You have people that are rushing to gas up these developers, telling them to just ignore the criticism, dismissing all the backlash outright. And once again, this feels eerily similar to Concord. I really started to notice it when I saw a post from one of the developers.
Okay, he said, ignore the criticism. People are saying that people are not giving them good criticism because they can't. They haven't played it. They can't be like, oh yeah, this sucks about this. This part of the game is terrible. You need to change this. I don't like how this works. You need to change that. No one can do that. No one can actually give them good criticism at the end of the day because they haven't played the game. You know, oh yeah, I don't like the look of this character or this one character or whatever. That's not good criticism. That is not good criticism. Oh, this game looks like Concord. That's not good criticism, people. This is Concord 2. That's not criticism. That's not going to help them out, you know? What are you talking about, people?
Developers who had gone protected, constantly retweeting praise, amplifying a handful of positive takes, feeding into this idea that the outrage isn't real, that people just need to calm down, stop reacting, and that none of this is justified. And
yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. It's real.
Hold on real quick. Got this over here. I think my disk space? Yeah, I did. Okay. Look at all that. Gone. Okay, yeah, that freed up some space.
It's definitely real. Matter of fact, I don't know if Highguard's plan on doing any early play tests, but if there's anything you could possibly do that pivots, look, I dogged on Marathon. I dogged on.
No, they're not doing any early play tests. There's no way they can. It comes out within a couple of weeks, like 3 weeks. I doubt it. They should have done that a lot earlier.
Bungie. At least they took the feedback to heart. They pushed the game back a whole 6 months, or roughly, actually a little bit longer than that probably. But they needed to, guys. Had Marathon launched in September like it was supposed to, do you know how awful that would have been? It would have rolled out all the different system changes, all the things like proxy chats, solos, all those things would not have been there in the game. All the UI upgrades, all the, the art issue and scandals that could have been there publicly out in the open in the live game. It would have been terrible. I dog on Bungie a lot. Thank God they listened. I don't know about Highguard. I don't know how set in stone their release date is, which is right around the corner. But if there's any way to get feedback sessions in right now and make some change.
That's what they need, a feedback session. They need to actually have people play the game, like the public to play the game. Like, yes, he brings up Marathon. The only reason, right, they delayed Marathon is because people played the game. They could give them some actual real feedback at the end of the day. I played the game. This is what I didn't like. This is what needs to be in the game. How do I know that? I played it. We can't say that. We can't say that about Highguard. Now, if it was me, like Astrocross said, they need to have like a playtest, beta or something. So right now, yes, it's supposed to come out at the end of the month. I would at least have what's supposed to be the actual the launch day become like the beta or something, and push the release a little bit back, uh a month or whatever, and just see what kind of feedback you actually get, feedback that you can actually use besides, this is Concord 2. Take that, if it gets like poor feedback or whatever, people actually playing the game, delay it even more and work on what people actually think. Now, people just hate the game. There's nothing you can do about that at all. If people just hate the game, like they actually play it and just hate it, it's like nothing you can do about this game to fix it. Or you're just out of luck there, developers. Wild Gate, whatever the studio is called, you're just out of luck on that one.